Do you remember the full title of a Redmi K60 review? More worth buying than the Pro version? Some people disagree with me and feel that the K60 Pro is the better choice. So is the upgrade to the Pro version worth the extra $120 to you? This video will tell you the answer. Most of the specs of the standard and Pro versions are the same, so for the parts not mentioned in this video, go to our standard edition review. This time, let's focus on performance and camera. Honestly, I don't think the K60 Pro is designed in a way that I would pay $500 for it. It looks like a $300 phone. The bezel is plastic, no headphone jack, USB 2.0 again. By the way, the square lens at the bottom of the camera module is not a periscopic telephoto lens, but a 2 megapixel macro lens. If I had to choose an Agent 2 phone to buy based on its design, I would not choose the K60 Pro. I don't think it's ugly just because I still can't accept a $480 phone with a plastic bezel. Because of the processor upgrade, the K60 Pro's Snapdragon Agent 2 will look quite a bit stronger than the standard version from Benchmark. We have also checked the official website and the K60 Pro's Agent 2 frequency is normal and there's no downward adjustment of the core frequency. Of course, the processor has become stronger. Engagement impact is about the same level as the OnePlus 11. It still doesn't break the record of iQOO 11 almost a straight line, but it is much better than the standard version. The K60 started to overheat in the last 4 minutes, and the frame rate was repeatedly locked at 45 FPS. It seems that the extra $100 paid off, and those who like Redmi and play games regularly can consider buying it. But performance is not all about the phone. This main camera also costs a lot of money. Compared to the standard version, the Pro version only has an upgraded main camera, so let's start with the main camera. Unfortunately, this IMX800 doesn't have a significant difference over the standard version's 64 megapixel main camera. If you don't zoom in to see the details, it will be hard to tell which photo was taken by the Pro version. The exposure of both phones for individual scenes is not quite accurate, with the standard version being on the dark side and the Pro version on the bright side. If you want to zoom in on a photo to see the difference, then I think the Pro version still has a bit of an advantage. The sharpening effect of the standard version is too heavy, especially in night mode, and the Pro version does not add too much sharpening effect. The Pro version's auto mode tends to activate HDR, so the dynamic range Pro version will be higher if you shoot directly in dark scenes. But with night mode on, the two phones again look about the same level. If you look at the amount of pixels, the Pro is actually not as good as the standard version. The result is that if you zoom into 2x to shoot, the standard version will be sharper. The advantage of a larger sensor only comes through at night, when there's no longer a gap in clarity, although it is not better than the standard version. If you turn on high resolution mode, then the standard version's 64 megapixel main camera will be sharper than the Pro version, so it's really hard to argue that the Pro version's main camera is much better than the standard version, or at least not worth $100. Since the ISP of Agent 2 is stronger than the previous generation, the K60 Pro should be stronger than the standard ultra-wide camera even with the same sensor, right? The truth is it will indeed be better, but not significantly. Less sharpening effect and a little better clarity in dark light. Less purple fringing issue and easier to activate HDR. But this is only visible after zooming in, and in general, I think the improvement is relatively small. A better sensor may be a better choice to improve image quality. 2 megapixel camera without autofocus, we should all know how bad it is. Does not support HDR, so the dynamic range is very bad. Both phones support 8K for the main camera and up to 1080p 30fps for the ultra-wide camera. The lens of the Pro's main camera doesn't look any better than the standard version. The same goes for the ultra-wide camera, which is almost identical on both phones. Another pro of the K60 Pro is 120 watt charging power that must be quite faster than the 67 watt standard version. It takes 5 minutes to charge 39% and 23 minutes to fill, but the standard version of the battery is a little larger than the Pro, especially the gaming part. The standard version with the larger battery is better than the Pro. So still choose which one depends on whether you like faster charging or a bigger battery. So, do you still think the K60 Pro is worth buying? I still think the standard version will be more worth buying than the Pro version, because just for the games and charging speed, it's not worth the extra $100 I'd spend. Plus, with recent great phones like the OnePlus 11, Motorola X40, and Nubia Z50, there's not much time left for the K60 Pro. That's why I will title the video, "Forget the Pro, it's not worth it." I'm Will from Gizmochina. We'll see you next time.